Okay, joining me now on the phone is Douglas Sannachan, who played Billy the window cleaner. His famous line, of course, was, "If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through a window." Douglas, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now that line I just quoted, "If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through a window," Keith Lemons seems to use it a lot these days. Do you know where it originates from?
Yes, I do. It was a Marx Brothers. It was actually Bill that told me, a while ago, because when I actually said the line, I just said I didn't realise that it was actually in one of the films, but I just went with it, But a few years later, a lot of people were asking me about the line, so I managed to pin Bill down, and he told me that's where it came from, So
tell us about your where it all started, your own personal experience of meeting Bill, because we've spoken to a few of the other actors, and we know that you were part of the Youth Theatre, the Glasgow Youth Theatre. So just tell us a bit about how, what it was like for you meeting Bill and how you landed the part of Billy.
Yeah, well, Bill joined the Youth Theatre, he came along with, a script and, and the idea and what have you. But in order to get to know us, he immersed himself in the Youth Theatre. So that's really how, everybody got to know him, kind of thing, And that was how it all started, really.
Was the part of Billy written for you?
Some of it was devised. You mentioned earlier on something about the clock scene, that was actually a scene that I devised for one of the tours.
What inspired you to write that scene?
No, it was, we were actually just sitting down and try to think of, different things when you're young, what you would be up to when you were young. And we put them all together in a show and just toured it as a kind of review show.
Sure.
So there was lots of different scenes about, about young people. And we just toured it with the Youth Theatre and went all over the place, up north and Ullapool and Banff and Buckie and all sorts of places,
Mm-hmm.
So it was great, and it was great having Bill there. And we got to know him really well. But unfortunately, as you probably know, the BFI refused him any funding, so I ended up making that sinking film instead. And it just so happened I worked in the sink. Well, it wasn't a sink factory, it was actually a plumber's merchant called Tom Stevens. And Bill said to me, any chance that I could meet your managing director? And I thought, what? So I just went in, I asked the managing director, and that was it. I ended up, he got the location, he got the sinks, and that was it.
What was the differences during the filming between the two movies?
A budget. That sinking film is it's in the Guinness Book of Records. It's been the smallest budgeted feature film ever made.
Is it really?
Mark Kermode did an interview with Bill, and that's how I found out about that. This is Mark Kermode came up with this, and I thought, I couldn't believe it, And there was Bill sitting there with all the receipts, So really, it did come down to budget, and everybody get paid for Gregory's Girl kind of thing, So just things like that, But basically, everybody got on with each other, and I think it shows in the film that, we kind of gelled, the Youth Theatre gelled. And I think it came across in the film.
Absolutely, it did. Can you remember filming any scenes that maybe didn't get used in the movie? And Gregory's Girl?
The scenes I did were just, it was just over one day. There might have been another shorter scene when I was outside the door with Madeline and I offer her a cigarette.
Oh, yeah, outside the school?
Yeah. And do you know how that came about as well, that scene? And you wouldn't get away with it nowadays, I wouldn't have thought, you'd end up like an 18, but back in the day, I think you could get away with stuff like that, But there was a scene in that sinking film. I'm sorry, I keep on harping back to that sinking film.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It's all relevant stuff.
But there was actually a scene in that sinking film that I came out of a close, and there's a wee girl playing balls against the wall,
right?
And I start, getting in my pockets and stuff like that. And I end up, because there's no dialogue, it was a music thing. It was music. It was along with it. The wee girl ends up giving me a cigarette.
Right, aye.
Me a light. So
I remember that scene.
And then when we did Gregory's Girl, I kind of got my own back, you know. Like,
oh yes, of course.
And I offered her a cigarette, you know. So that's how it came out. It's like wee tenuous links, you know. There's a few of them, I think, in Gregory's Girl.
Now, what was life like for you once the movie came out? Did you get recognised a lot, and how did you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, like, Gregory's Girl's been great for me, and like, I've went on to keep up my acting career, you know. Yeah, I mean, like, at the time it was, you know, because it was so massive, you know, like, yeah, I was getting recognised quite a lot, and you know, and I still get recognised to this day. Believe it or not, you know, some people, you know, say, hey, you're in that film, Gregory's Girl. It's like, oh my God, it's like 35 years ago. And in general, it's just like, you were that guy, you were the window cleaner, you know. And like, it's just part of the course, really, isn't it?
What's your favourite line from the movie? You know, like.
Oh, I mean, like, I think Chick Murray, you know, go away, horrible boy, you know.
Oh yeah,
go away, nasty boy. Did
you meet Chick?
I never worked with him, you know, like, but there was a story that, well, it wasn't really a story, it was something that happened at the premiere, and the premiere was in Renfield Street, you know, the Odeon in Renfield Street, which is just a shell now, unfortunately, you know. I walked past it the other day there thinking, oh, you know, like, that used to be a proper cinema, you know.
Yeah.
But Chick Murray was asked to come on and introduce the film,
right?
You know, so he gets on and he starts to introduce the film, and that was fine. And then I went on a wee bit, and then he started to talk a wee bit about the story, you know, and such. And then eventually it was getting to the stage that he was like, you know, like telling everybody like the gags that were coming up and stuff like that. And he ended up, he had to get rugby tackled, you know, and dragged off the stage, you know. But he was hilarious.
Oh, the brilliant Chick
and
Murray.
Much missed, Chick Murray.
Now, tell us about the movie that you're directing at the moment. It's StarCash, isn't it?
Yes, it's. This is I'm actually just like taking a leaf out of Bill Forsyth's book. You know, I thought, right, you know, I've always been interested in filmmaking. I've always wanted to make my own films. You know, so I thought, well, why not have a go? You know, like, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm not going to start off making shorts. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to write a film, you know.
Wow, in at the deep end.
So that was straight into it, zero budget, absolutely no budget, like that thinking feeling, you know. Just getting all my pals, everybody that I've known over the years to help out. I've got to know quite a lot of filmmakers, you know. So, yeah, so I'd written a script before, but that gets shelved, you know, because of, you know, just the other problems, you know. So sure. I've written this new film called StarCash, and that's us. We're almost finished. We're still in production, still got a couple of big scenes, you know, to do. But we've started doing a bit of post, and we're in the edit now, and it's looking good. It's basically loosely based on a game that's for the smartphone. It's called geocaching, which is worldwide. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Geocaching,
yes.
Right.
It's a bit geeky. You know, you basically use your smartphone, and it's got a GPS system in it. You know, what you do is you type in the coordinates to this website. It's called geocaching.com, and it takes you to weird and interesting places where there's a logbook, and you basically just sign a logbook. It's very geeky.
Right. Okay.
You know?
So it's like a treasure hunt, like a sort of modern day treasure hunt type thing.
Modern day treasure hunt, yeah, that's exactly it. You know, it's great fun for kids and stuff like that, you know. But my wife loved it, and she got me into it, you know. And we ended up with, there's events that you can go on, where caches have been placed, and you'd maybe go around a park, and like collect all these caches, and you log them, and that kind of thing.
Sure thing.
So I went on this event, and like, it was an overnight thing, so we got to meet all these weird and wonderful people, and I just thought, they need to die in strange and interesting ways, these people, So it's turned out it's like a horror kind of / comedy. Actually, I think I've coined the name, a new genre for film. It's called slasher casher.
Love it.
So
it's
just very different, but lots of comedy, wee bit of horror, wee bit of drama. It's just something very different.
I've been watching the little teasers and trailers that you've been putting up.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't done an official trailer yet, so these are just like previews that we've thrown up. And I think you have to do that these days, just get it out on social media, especially if it's a zero budget thing, just get it out there and get your work seen, get your... it's like growing arms and legs, this thing, like we've got about 80 people on board, everybody working for nothing, and, maybe one day we'll get some money, we'll get distribution and, get people paid, but if anything, it's been a great learning curve for me, and I've enjoyed doing it, and I've met a lot of nice people and stuff, and we'll see what happens. It's looking pretty good, actually,
When are you hoping to release StarCash?
So I'm hoping to have it done, we're kind of in post just now, so I'm hoping to get it done, at the end of the summer, and, start pushing it, for early next year. I'm aiming for, the Glasgow Film Festival next year, which is earlier in the year.
And where can people find out more about the film? Do you have a website?
Well, basically, if you go on Facebook, it'll be, there's a page there. It's called StarCash Feature Film.
And I'll just confirm that it's StarCash. It's Cash, C-A-C-H-E. Cash.
That's right.
In case anybody types in C-A-S-H, it's StarCash. And you can find it on Facebook, and you're also on Twitter.
Yes, we're on Twitter as well. And if you want to go to Artisani, that's the name of the production company.
What can you say the name of the production company again?
Artisani. A-R-T-I-S-A-N-I.
I thought you said Artifani the first time there. So I'm glad I asked you to clarify. Other people might have found a rather different website if they typed in Artifani. That's my nickname, Sani, so it's Artisani. That sounds a bit much, doesn't it, Artisani? I think I might change it now. No, it sounds fine. Listen, Douglas, thanks very much for phoning in, because it's so nice to catch up with all the cast after, can you believe it, 35 years?
I know, 35 years. We went to a school, Abram Hill, got pulled down recently, and it was the one show, the BBC, the one show we're doing a special on it. And,
that's right.
Claire and myself and Rab went along, and we sat through the film with all the young folk that were there, and it was nice, it was kind of nostalgic,
Yeah.
So that was nice, but it's gone now.
It's very sad that.
Cumbernauld is really close to my heart as well, because I spent a few years in the College Theatre there, I did a few pantos, just acting in it, and I did a couple of did a Stephen Greenhorn play, just a few things, So, but no, Cumbernauld was great for me. Just for work.
Right.
If it wasn't for Gregory's Girl, I don't know how far, my career would have went. It would probably fizzled out quite quickly, so it's helped me a lot. And
as well as directing StarCash, are you still acting then?
I'm still acting, yes. I work quite a lot at the Pavilion, and do a lot of their comedies up there. I've done something like 18 pantos up there, so yeah.
Listen, Douglas, thanks for giving us your time today. As I said, it's great to catch up with all the cast. Like I said earlier on, you played such a memorable character, and it's surprising that you did it all in one day. But really, thanks very much for joining us. We wish you all the best with StarCash as well. Keep us posted, and come back in the show and give us an update sometime. We'll do a special on StarCash.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much, Ross.
Absolutely, not a problem.
If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through a window.
Brilliant.
Cheers.
Right.
Thanks, Ross.
Cheers, Douglas. Thanks,
Bye.
mate. Ta-ra.